What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mood616 here, and I'm back with a brand new video for y'all. And this time around, it is going to be my top 25 Blu-ray releases of 2017. Now, last year I completely forgot to make a list of my top media releases. So this year, I'm definitely doing one. And I have to say, man, 2017 was an exceptionally dope year for Blu-ray releases, man. I mean, so many amazing companies out there putting out so much good stuff. I easily could have done a top 50 list, but, you know, that video just would be way too long and nobody wants to sit through a top 50 list. So instead of doing a top 10, I went with the top 25, and I probably missed some of my favorite ones, but who knows? I don't know. This is what I came up with. I did the list. I didn't try to overthink it. So these are not like the best Blu-ray releases of the year. These are my personal favorites of the year. So yeah, man, without further ado, Charz to the end of 2017 and on to 2018, which we're already a couple weeks into 2018, but who really gives a shit? Got a little bit of Weeping Reaper happening here right now. This has some bite. Woo! 7%. That's a really hoppy lager from Dead Frog. Good stuff. All right, so let's get into this here. Yeah, like I said, amazing year for releases. It was actually kind of a hard list to do. I knew what my top couple were already, but yeah. All right, in at number 25 here is Zombie Creeping Flesh, also known as Virus, also known as Hell of the Living Dead. It just has so many freaking names. Zombie film by Bruno Mattei. You know, I know this had a Region 1 release before, but I love this 88 Films Italian collection line. I think they did a great job with this transfer also. I've actually watched this Blu-ray a couple times since I've gotten it. You recently saw this in my most recent update, but, you know, again, I'm a huge Italian fan. I thought this was a great release. And, yeah, that's Zombie Creeping Flesh in at number 25. So, yeah, love that release right there. In at number 24, we have Vestron's The Gate. Now, I was really excited when they announced this because I wanted to upgrade my DVD to, you know, something virtually, you know, like the best release out there. So, yeah, I was a tiny little bit disappointed with this release, though, because as much as, you know, the release is pretty awesome, you know, presentation, everything, I think the Blu-ray transfer is a little bit soft on this, even though it does look a whole shit ton better than the original DVD release of this movie, which is pretty muddy and shitty. So, you know, you can't beat that, but, yeah, man, The Gate, still, you know, fantastic release. It's got some audio commentaries on here and stuff, but, you know, I did watch this Blu-ray a couple times, and yeah, like I said, man, I think the transfer could have been a tad bit sharper, but it is what it is. It's still one of my favorites of the year, man. I'm glad this finally made it to Blu-ray because, you know, the DVD was long out of print and stuff and needed the upgrade. So The Gate in at number 25, or number 24. In at number 23 is a release from Severin, and that is Dark Waters. Yes, man, I absolutely, you know, was ecstatic when I heard that, you know, Severin was re-releasing this film, because No Shame had put this DVD out years and years ago, long out of print. I don't think a lot of people had actually saw this film. So I was very happy that it was getting a Blu-ray release because, you know, so other people could finally see the film. I think it's brilliant, man. It's a really interesting nunsploitation, very atmospheric and creepy film, and it kind of goes into an area where you don't really think it's going to go. Yeah, man, I love this, man. Very artsy and trippy. It's a very trippy film. It's edited cool. It's got really cool music and shit like that. But yeah, man, Dark Waters, absolutely loved getting a upgrade of this one, man. Dark Waters. Good shit right there. So that was number 23. And number 22 from Kino. It's not like a full-blown horror film, but it is a revenge film, so I'm lumping it into here. And that's Rolling Vengeance. Man, I was so stoked when I found out that they were releasing this on Blu-ray, because I picked up the VHS, like I said before in my update last summer, and then the Blu-ray got announced like right after, so that was super awesome. But I love this film. A monster truck revenge film. You can't go wrong with this. You know, the transfer on this is just fantastic. It really does look good. I mean, Kino just knocks everything out the park, man. You can't complain about Kino, man. I mean, they keep everything pretty basic. You know, they're black spines, and you know, they're pretty standard discs and stuff. But I always like their cover art. But it's about the film itself, and Not much special features on here, but that's okay. I mean, I actually would have liked to seen a little bit more on this one, but because I really like this film. But Rolling Vengeance, fucking awesome film. Really, really love that one. So that was in at number 22. And at number 21 is a film that I was waiting forever to finally come to media, because it's only ever had a VHS release, and that is Twisted Nightmare from Code Red. Our fine folks over at Code Red released Twisted Nightmare. Now, not really the greatest slasher film in the world, but nevertheless, still super entertaining, man. I really enjoyed this film. It's stupid, it's cheesy, but the transfer was phenomenal in this. I thought it was really great. And another one from the 80s slasher line, or, from the 80s slashers, to knock off the list, because this is one, I wasn't sure if it was going to get a release, but it actually did, so that's very cool. Thank you to the good folks over at Code Red for releasing Twisted Nightmare. Always liked that cover art, man. That's awesome. That's really cool stuff. So that was number 21. And at number 20 is a Mondo Macabro release, and that is Inquisition. Paul Naschy's directorial debut, did a period piece. Now, I think that's very daring for somebody to make a period piece in their directorial debut, because let's face it, man, you got to get those wardrobes right, the lingo, everything. I think it's a tough task to do when you're making your first film. From 1976, so this is going to be one that I'll be re-watching before the 1976 Top 10 show on the podcast. But this is a fantastic film. Really cool stuff with witches and shit like that. But if you haven't checked out Inquisition, it's awesome. It's awesome. If you don't like period pieces, maybe give it a shot. Maybe this will get you into some Paul Naschy. I don't know. But yeah, 2017 was kind of the year of Paul Naschy. So much good Paul Naschy films came out and stuff. And this was one of them. A great, great transfer from Mondo, man. They always kill it with the transfers. So that was number 20. In at number 19 is one from Vinegar Syndrome, our fine folks over at Vinegar Syndrome, and that's Demon Wind. Man, dude, I'd never seen this film before. It was the first time watch. This one blew my shitter out, man. I thought this was a really well done, awesome film. It's very strange, but the Blu-ray just looks phenomenal. When I said off top of the show, I could have made like a top 100 list, easy, or top 50. I mean, half of Vinegar Syndrome releases could have been in there because they put out so much, good release. I wouldn't say necessarily the film is overly the greatest, but this is actually a good film, and it's a bomb release, man. It's got lots of cool features and stuff like that. But Demon Wind, if you haven't checked out this release, definitely give it a shot. It's fantastic. So yeah, man, that's Demon Wind right there. In at number 19. In at number 18 is another Vinegar Syndrome release, and that is Witch Trap. Kevin Tenney's film that was kind of lost in obscurity for so many years. I think a lot of people still think this is a sequel to Witchboard, but it actually says right at the beginning of the film, this is not a sequel. But of course, I always knew that and stuff. But I did have a European release, but this is actually fully uncut. I'm not sure if those ones are fully uncut and stuff, but transfer is fantastic on this. It's a fun film. It's a fun film. And it's got a great lineup of features on it too. Yeah, you really can't go wrong, man. It's got the alternate cover art too, which is really cool. Right there, which you've probably seen on maybe the European release, but yeah, man, really good stuff. Very happy that another film that I had on a list to get for so long finally got crossed off, and that's Witch Trap. So good stuff right there. In at number 18. In at number 17, going over to the UK with a shameless release of All the Colors of the Dark, Sergio Martino. This is one that was released years and years ago by No Shame, and that one's been out of print for fucking ever. So I was very happy to hear that, Shameless is putting this out on Blu-ray, and I was just like, damn, finally. The Edward Fenwick film, George Hilton, Susan Scott, man, great giallo, very, very trippy. Good stuff. Man, just so happy to finally have this movie in the collection, and that's All the Colors of the Dark. In at number 17. In at number 16. Let's grab some beer here. In at number 16, coming from the fine folks over at Synapse. Now, they take forever putting out their releases, but when they put them out, they are really top-notch. This is no exception. So in at number 16, we've got Popcorn. This was just a huge, huge upgrade from my DVD, man. The transfer on this is phenomenal. I mean, I don't know what Synapse does and Vinegar Syndrome does to do their transfers, but they do some of the most exceptional work out there. Popcorn is probably not like a full-blown top-shelf slasher, but it's got a great setting. It's fun. It's set in a movie theater, And that's cool enough for me right there. And it's got a cool looking killer and shit, but the features, I mean, it's got a, you know, a documentary on here, the making of, whole pile of other stuff, and, you know, just phenomenal stuff right there. So, and it does have reversible art too, which, yes, I did not go for the steelbook because I am just not paying the money for those steelbooks. Because, you know, those $50 steelbooks are like $75 or $80 for us Canadians. So I waited for the standard, and I'll do the same thing for Suspiria also. So, but Popcorn, I'm happy with this. Very cool stuff. And that was in at number 16. Yeah. All right, so into the top 15 here, we have another Severin release, and we got some Wild Beasts. Yes, man, this one right here again was the first time watching me this year, and I absolutely was floored by this film. Animals on PCP, terrorizing people. That's what you get in this one. I laughed so fucking hard at this part in this film with this tiger chasing this car. It was so funny the way it was filmed and everything. It was just such a blast. But what a fantastic release, fantastic film for Severin. I mean, Severin again, they do fantastic transfers. They put out some really cool films. I mean, most of the stuff that they drop is actually really good. And this is no exception, man. No exception. Really good stuff here. Wild Beasts, yes. Good stuff. And that, of course, is number 15. Number 14, going back to Code Red, and I just showed this one in my update, and that is The Sadist. Man, like, Code Red puts out a lot. They put out a ton of films last year, a lot of really good ones. Like I said, again, I could have added some of those into a top 50, but this one blew my socks off, blew my shitter out. It's really good. It's really good. It's based on these real-life serial killers, and you know, actually, you know, the story of these serial killers, you know, influence like, you know, California and, you know, Natural Born Killers and all those type of films. This is really awesome, man. I just gotta see it, man. Gotta see it. About these teachers that are basically heading off to this Dodgers game. They break down, they're in this junkyard, and then they come in contact with these killers, which are like teenagers, basically. So, The Sadist, man. Fantastic film. In at number 14. In number 13, heading over to Massacre Video with Hack-O-Lantern. Man, this is a film right here, only Massacre Video could release this on Blu-ray and do such a phenomenal job. Like, I was completely blown away by the transfer on this because, you know, this was in VHS obscurity for so long. It never made its way to DVD. And, you know, Massacre announced that they're putting it out. I'm like, awesome, awesome stuff. But I wasn't 100% sure how the transfer was going to be on this. This thing, it looks beautiful. They did a great job. Lots of features, you know, slit box, presentation, everything on this. Got the original art, VHS art right there. This is awesome, man. It's a really strange Halloween type film. Kind of satanic film. It's fucking awesome. Really good stuff, man. I like Hack-O-Lantern. I've watched this like 3 or 4 times last year. Yes. Massacre, keep doing transfers like this. Good stuff, man. So that was number 13. In at number 12, we're going to Arrow Video with Frank Henenlotter's Brain Damage. Man, this is my favorite Henenlotter film. As I sit here wearing a basket case shirt, that's kind of funny. But I love Brain Damage. You know, it came with a pin and everything. Yeah, man, this transfer, holy shit, man. Elmer just pops. The blues, the colors in here just pop like crazy. Just a phenomenal release. Tons of good features. Again, Arrow just, you know, you can never say enough good things about Arrow because they just go way, way up and beyond with their feature game. And they do it on this one, man. So you can't really go wrong with Brain Damage from Arrow. Absolutely phenomenal release. So that was number 12. In at number 11, kind of cheating here because I usually always do cheat in these lists. And we're going to head over to Australia from Umbrella. A very, very awesome label. They've been putting out great things for years and years. But I got to do it, man. The Drive-In Delirium, Volume 1, and, you know, I guess they're not really volumes, but the 80s and the 70s ones. Trailer compilations, these are phenomenal. These are really, really amazingly done. Yeah, here's the 80s one. Here's like the whole list of trailers and shit that's on here. Fucking awesome, man. I think this one runs 227 minutes of all your favorite type 80s slashers and just 80s flicks, man. It's very cool. I like how they break them up into sections too. It's pretty cool. And then we got the 70s, which this one runs 367 minutes. So what is that, like 5 hours? yeah, again, man, they got some pre-shows, they got some intermissions in here, and it breaks it down, you know, into certain categories, but these are phenomenal. I mean, I've watched these so many late nights, you know, having some beers, need something on the TV, you don't have to pay full attention to. This is the way to go, man. These are the bomb diggity trailer compilations right here. Awesome stuff. And I have a lot of these. So that was in at number 11. And yeah, we're going to get right into this top 10 after these messages.
Where will you be when your laxative starts working? Where will you be? With Fleet brand glycerin suppositories, there's no worry. Fleet works when you want it to, in minutes. For fast, predictable relief, trust Fleet. It's predictable.
Zazu condoms. Fun, sexy, safe.
Oh yeah, top 10 time. We are heading over to the UK with a great release of a film that has been out of print. It did make its way to DVD years and years ago. Been out of print for a long time. Finally got the royal treatment. I mean the royal treatment here. And that is Evil Ed. Man, I've always been a big fan of this film, and this is just a phenomenal release, man. This is the limited edition one with the third disc that actually has a third disc with the original cut on Blu-ray, which is really cool. And yeah, so the special Ed edition. Evil Ed, man, it's just such a phenomenal film, man. It's like The Evil Dead, and it's just a homage to so many different types of films. I actually, every time I watch this film, I try to find more posters that are in the film. They have so many movie posters in this one. I think I found like 15 or something like that. And I said to the homeboy, Godzilla, who I do marathons with, that we should do a marathon based on, or watch all the films that are actually featured in this film by their respectable posters. So that'd be kind of a cool thing, but Evil Ed, man, it's just a big homage. You know, it's a horror comedy, but it's gory as fuck, and it's just fun, man. I love Evil Ed. It's just a blast. But again, phenomenal release, man. I watched this one like 3 or 4 times last year. Can't get enough of it. Evil Ed, phenomenal release. In at number 10. In at number 9 is, from Indicator, we have the Hammer Volume 1 or box set right here, man. Which features, which is actually limited apparently, to 2,000 copies. So we actually have the Maniac. And these things, this is like Criterion shit, man. This box is so phenomenal. I mean, it comes with these thick-ass books for every single movie. I mean, we're talking like, it's crazy. Such nice releases, man. Transfers, you know, on the 2 of them that I've checked out so far are phenomenal. So that was Maniac right there. Then we got the Gorgon, which I love this movie. This is good shit right here. Again, same thing. Big, thick box, or book and stuff. The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. Another one that I really enjoy. And of course we have Fanatic. So yeah, man, this is just a great box set. Very much like Arrow. It's very much in the realm, man. Real thick, hard box right here. Yeah, some more Hammer goodness to the collection. I love this artwork right here. It's simple, but it's fucking awesome, man. It's awesome shit. So that's Hammer's box set in at number 9. In at number 8, again, from Arrow, and we've got the Between Night and Dawn George A. Romero box set with the Crazies, Season of the Witch, and There's Always Vanilla, and an awesome, comes with an awesome booklet also. So we've got the Crazies here, which is awesome. I'm a big fan of the Crazies. And then we got Season of the Witch, which is a very strange film, not necessarily a horror film, but it's an interesting film. I enjoy this one. I really do. And of course, There's Always Vanilla, which is pretty strange in itself. And then we've got this awesome book, Between Night and Dead, which is just phenomenal. So another great release from Arrow, man. You can't really go wrong with anything Arrow ever. But this is just, I love how you can just beat somebody to death with this shit, man. It's just phenomenal. I don't know why I would want to beat somebody to death with my Blu-ray box set, but anyways, moving along. In at number 7, to Arrow again, and that is Argento's A Bird with the Crystal Plumage. An amazing release. A lot of people were harping on this artwork here. I think it's absolutely beautiful. They did a great job. So many great features on this. The presentation on this is phenomenal. You've got the poster of, you know, the artwork. This awesome booklet, and the Italian cover art, poster art right there. So yeah, you can't go wrong, man. And one thing I just, you know, these sturdy books, this is what makes it for me. This is quality. This is quality shit. Arrow just does not cheap out on their shit. Except for they kind of did on the Bride of Reanimator box set. That one was a little bit thin and a little bit flimsy and shit like that. I don't know why they did that for that one. But Bird with the Crystal Plumage, one of my favorite Argentos. Can't go wrong. And that, of course, was in at number 7. In at number 6, staying with Arrow, why not, right? Is just a phenomenal release. Ooh, that was a little bit of a spoiler. Phenomena. Again, you know, same presentation, thick ass box, and one of my favorite, you know, this is an Argento film that I really, when I first watched this movie back in the day, probably in the early 90s, I didn't really care for it. I was not really a big fan. It grew on me a lot, man. But of course we've got, you know, Phenomena right there. We've got the American Creepers cut right there. Actually, there's 3 different cuts on this Blu-ray, and of course this fantastic booklet, which is really amazing. That's one thing that I can't get over Arrow, man. You know, they go with the features. They have all the great, you know, materials and stuff, but their booklets are like phenomenal. So it's very cool that you get all 3 cuts on this, and this is why this release. I mean, I have, you know, multiple editions of this movie, but having all 3 cuts in one area, in one release, is just awesome. You know, you get all the cuts. You can't go wrong with that, man. It's a great, great release. Of course, that was in at number 6. Into the top 5 we go here. And first up here, Arrow's release of House. Now, this is the UK version. The Region 1 release only has the first 2 films. That's why this one is a lot fucking better, because they have the rights to all 4. And again, you know, they totally outdid themselves. They have a hardcover book in here. Hardcover. I mean, this has everything you need to know about. I don't really want to fuck with that. Everything you need to know about there, about House and shit. So we got original House. Then we got, what am I going backwards here? House 2. House 3, which isn't even really a House film. It's the horse show, which I'm actually not a big fan of. And this is very cool to see House 4 on Blu-ray, because it just had this shitty ass DVD release before. And yeah, so that's what we get now. But yeah, the House box set, man, really great, sturdy awesomeness. And I don't know if I can get this thing back together, but man, Arrow, man. Everyone was kind of harping on Arrow this year for not really having the greatest year, but I kind of beg to differ, man. They put out a lot of really good releases. And again, there were so many just solo releases that I probably could have had in here too. But Arrow, killing it, man, with House. So that was in at number 5. All right, so in at number 4 here, we have one of my favorite movies of all time. And this edition is just, it just blew me away. And that is Reanimator. Arrow's release of Reanimator, man. Yeah, man, 2 discs, man. We got the unrated cut on here, and we also have the integral version, which was super cool to see, because I'd always heard of the integral cut before, and I didn't really know if it was kind of like just a myth, but apparently it does exist. And it's kind of interesting too, because it's got a lot more footage in the film, but it's kind of out of order. If you watch the film, it actually doesn't make sense with certain scenes the way they're placed in the film. It's kind of funny, actually, but it was cool to see those extra scenes, because, you know, being such a huge fan of Reanimator like my entire life, and seeing brand new footage from that movie was just mind-blowing. It was super, super cool. Again, just a phenomenal release. I think I've used that word like 1,000 times during this thing, but yeah, again, this booklet, like crazy. And they kind of did like this little digipack thing this time on here. I think that was really cool, and it's got some other goodies in here and stuff. Lobby cards and stuff, but yeah, you can't go wrong, man. When they announced that the integral cut was going to be on here, I was, yep, got to pre-order that thing right away. But Reanimator in at number 4. just when I need another edition, but this is like the ultimate edition. So if you need to get one edition of Reanimator, this is this. This is this. That is the one to get. So that was in at number 4. In at number 3, top 3 time, is not a box set. It's actually not a box set. This is a film that, you know, I have on VHS, I have on DVD, and I was just waiting for that inevitable Blu-ray to come out. But was it going to be coming? Because, you know, it was like an HBO film, and they just don't seem to ever release their stuff or give the rights out. Tales from the Hood. I was blown away by this. This is a really good release, actually, man. It's got a making of Tales from the Hood. It's got some, you know, featurettes, or some interviews and things like that. But transfer is fantastic on this. One of my favorite anthologies of all time. I still can't believe that Scream Factory actually acquired the rights to release this, because it's just a film that was on everyone's list. Everybody wanted this movie to get released, and of course it got really good treatment. So it got the collector's edition it needs. The original cover art here, which I have one of these posters framed in my house too. Not the Scream Factory one, like a big one. But I love Tales from the Hood, man. We just need a vinyl release of the soundtrack now. That's what we need, but yeah. Great 90s stuff right here. Tales from the Hood in at number 3. In at number 2, going back to Arrow, and we've got the Phantasm box set. This one right here, I know a lot of people liked the American release and stuff. I thought this one was super cool. It comes with the ball, you know, all the discs are kind of housed, you know, interesting. I wish they had to put them in their regular standard cases, but they put them in digipack stuff. I'm not going to pull everything out here because I don't even actually have the ball in here. It's actually displayed in my other room. But the Phantasm set, and I have to say, man, the transfers on here are fucking amazing. Really, really amazing. You know, comes with all 5 Phantasm films. Got a bonus disc which has a feature-length documentary covering the first 4 Phantasms, which is really good stuff. But yeah, and among features on here. So, but I was very happy with this box set. I can't complain about it. I really can't complain. So, yeah. All right. What are we here for? This release says. You know me, man. I'm always cheating in my list. I always cheat. Top 10 Tuesdays, everything. I always cheat in my list because that's what I do. In at number 1 from Scream Factory, we have the Paul Naschy Collection 1 and 2. I'm putting these things together because I'm a huge Naschy fan, and I just cannot believe that I got 11 Paul Naschy films in my top 25. This is crazy. I seriously can't believe this. You know, they're just like their other sets. There's nothing really much more to them, but the first volume here has Horror Rises from the Tomb, Vengeance of the Zombies, Blue Eyes the Broken Doll, which is like a giallo, Human Beast, Night of the Werewolf, phenomenal. Second one has Hunchback of the Morgue, a Dragonfly for Each Corpse, The Devil Possessed, Exorcism, and the Werewolf and the Yeti, which made it for me because essentially that was one of the last video nasties that I needed, and it's finally here, man. It's finally here. Paul Naschy sets 1 and deuce right here. I still am not a big fan of the cover art on this. On part 2, look, Naschy kind of looks funny on it, but all in all, together, this is just ridiculous. Kind of like one big ass box set, really. But yeah, Paul Naschy. So that is going to do it, guys, for my top 25 Blu-ray releases of the year. I might do like a DVD one. I'll have to see. I know people are gonna be like, "Where's all the DVDs, man?" Well, maybe not, but I didn't really buy a lot of like new DVD releases this year. They were kind of older stuff, but anyways, guys, looks like I'm kind of running out of time here, so might as well cut the video off right there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your guys' favorite ones are down below. And I will see you in the next video, which will probably be another shelf video, so stay tuned for that one. And as usual, check you guys later, and